Friday means funny, and today we're talking about escalation theater. And so, escalations on projects are today's version of dramatic television, right? It's the workplace version of that, where small problems are suddenly treated like these giant epics. And we're going to explore a few of the genres today, really of unnecessary drama. And here's the spoiler, is that most escalations probably don't need to be escalated. There's no such version of the workplace Karen video, but if there were, I think that might prevent some of the escalations. And they feature bad acting and exaggerated urgency and maybe emotional monologues on email. And so the first kind is the Shakespearean one, to escalate or not to escalate, where a tiny problem is treated like just a kingdom level betrayal. And, in the team member whispers, I fear I must escalate to let chaos reign. And you get the dramatic pause for the communication strategy where people are just overperforming because the issue feels more important. Maybe if they act sad or more dramatic about it. And then at the grand finale, right, somebody copies in an executive and they make it a proclamation for their liege. So that's the dramatic Shakespearean escalation. Then you sometimes get the soap opera escalation, right? As the scope turns, where the minor issue is exaggerated into a plot twist with dramatic pauses and zoom in moments when somebody says we have a problem, making over the top facial expressions in meetings. Those are my favorite kinds of people. And sometimes sort of reenacting the issue, right? Like it's an affair. You knew about this issue and you didn't tell me until now, and cue the dramatic music. Another kind is the medical drama, the escalation, right? Code red, maybe missing a status issue where the project issues are kind of coming on the gurney and the PM's yelling, we're losing it, give me an escalation. And the doctor is yelling that to call the sponsor. And then ultimately you have to charge the paddles to send the message to leadership. And all the while, the surgeons are arguing. I enjoy this photo because I'm not exactly sure why the project has a bag over its head, but it's a great picture. And then you've got the courtroom escalation where the judge is banging the gavel, right, because somebody escalated too early, and the attorneys are arguing over why their escalation was justified and objecting to the decision and cross-examination why somebody didn't respond. And then ultimately the final ruling is that it has to be escalated to a higher court, right? So it goes from one escalation to the next. And so, look, hopefully it was a little bit of fun. The point is that escalations don't need to be a full Broadway production or a dramatic TV show, and that many urgent issues are really just everyday hiccups, right? Sort of disguised as a bigger problem. That's not to say we shouldn't be transparent and we shouldn't escalate in terms of severity. Generally, we should be coming with recommendations instead of just escalations. But at the end, we need to stay calm and collaborate to avoid this altogether, and save the theatrics for our shows on Netflix. And with that, I will take a bow.